My name is Amara.
And my name is Gospel.
Today we want to have another conversation. But before we go on to have that conversation, I want to say thank you so very much for joining us today. For all our returning subscribers, we want to appreciate you. We want to say thank you. Thank you for engaging with our content. And if you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on your notification bell as well. It's great to see you all. Now please like this video, comment on this video, share this video with your friends. Anyone you think would find value with what we're talking about today, please spread the word. Today we want to talk about, did I marry my in-laws? So part of what we'll be covering in today's conversation is talking about how extended family members can make or break your marriage.
Marriage, we know, is a union of two individuals who are traceable to their extended family members.
Absolutely.
And no one is an island.
Absolutely.
And when you get married, you can't say, okay, because I'm married, I have nothing to do with my extended family members, or I have nothing to do with my parents, my siblings, my friends.
Yeah.
People, we know that marriage should be about the two of you.
Yes.
But then it has something to do with where you're coming from.
That's true. That's true. So this involves the coalition of two individuals. So people that's got, different home culture, different set of values, and different idiosyncrasies as well.
Exactly.
So again, when we consider the smoothness of the process of the alliance, you could kind of term or link it to the willingness of the husband and the wife to be able to communicate where they're coming from, where they, where their culture, where their values are stemming from. And this is all down to their family, like you're trying to say, it's down to their roots. So it is then very important that when people come together to get married, they need to communicate this. They need to communicate, this is how we do what we do, this is why we do what we do, this is what it's something that they have to have a conversation about before the start of the marriage.
Yeah, because looking at us, for instance, I'm from a different background when it has to do with how we do things. We have a family culture, which everyone in my family understands.
Yes.
But your family has a different culture as well. How you do things, how you communicate, how you share values, how you share information as well.
Yes.
So getting married wouldn't mean I would just, do things my own way while you do things your own way. What we did, if you remember, was I started talking about family history, stories around family, in order for us to understand our background.
Yes, where you're coming from.
Where I'm coming from and where you're coming from. So that phase of adjustment to bring in the extended family into the picture wouldn't be a problem.
That's true.
So that's exactly what we did. So today we are saying that for a couple to have a good relationship, you have to put into consideration that this person you're getting married to is not an island. This person has a root. So you have to blend the two families together.
Yes.
To form the new family.
What we are saying here is understand your roots, understand your culture, and be able to communicate that. Now, in some societies, they're very individualistic. So again,
some Western culture.
Exactly. Some Western culture is very individualistic, and everything is down to what you do as a nuclear family. So you tend to some extent detach yourself from the extended family. But again, we have collectivist societies. And in collectivist societies is a situation where you find very strong, close, bonded,
family bond.
Exactly, knitted families. And you find this in a lot of Asian, a lot of African societies. There's a strong Ubuntu spirit. Where
can you take some time and explain what you mean by Ubuntu spirit? Because some people may not really understand that concept.
Well, to put it simply, it's basically you cannot detach yourself from where you're coming from. So I am because we are, and because we are, I am. So
you're part of a whole,
a kindred. So it's a kind of you cannot isolate yourself, basically.
Yes. From what you're saying, looking at Igbo culture, from where I'm coming from, we are coming from.
Yes.
And because we are from the Igbo culture in Nigeria.
So that's from the eastern part
of Nigeria.
Yes.
Once a man is about to get married, the idea is that he's getting married to a wife for the family.
Yes.
So they don't even call her Mr. A's wife.
Yes.
They call her our wife. You know, so that concept is not just what people think, it is what they believe. So once a woman is married to the family, for instance, you remember when we traveled to our hometown, people were calling you our wife, and they believe you're their wife.
That's true.
It's now for you to think about how you can be integrated into that family and be part of that family. So in that sense, you're not just coming to bear the name of the family or just to be part of the family.
Yes.
You have to find a way to blend so that your relationship with your extended family members will not break your marriage.
That's true.
Rather, it will enhance it.
That's true. And I think that it's important for us to point out here that each partner would need to be flexible enough to understand the peculiarities of the family, of each family, and to adapt to those peculiarities. Because you can say, oh no, we don't do this is not the way we do things in my family. You know, I've said that, you know, in the first year of our marriage, I think I was saying that a lot. No, this is very strange. We don't do this in our family. And you're like, okay, I understand, I appreciate you don't do things this way, but it's about what is applicable to our family, our new family.
Yeah.
So it's about adapting. So whatever you say, you cannot say it's not my business. I don't care about this, I don't care about that, because people could be offended by that.
Based on what you just said, I think if I would give an example using my family, I am from a family where we like to share. Everyone is open. We don't keep secrets. We were so open to a point where you could say, this is not nice. But that's how we've been brought up.
Yeah.
Now, if I am getting married, which I'm married to you, let's assume you're from a family where things are not kept that open.
Yeah. We're very private.
We are very private.
Yes.
I'm not saying you're very private in your family.
Yes. But I'm saying this is an assumption.
This is an assumption, but this is how it is for us. So what we need now to do is to come to a point where we can look at to what extent
can we be
open?
Yeah.
To what extent am I allowed to share some things about us to my family?
Yes, and let me just put a caveat there. When we're talking about openness and being private, we're not talking about in the relationship between you and your spouse. We're talking about it in the context of your relationship with your in-laws.
Yeah. So in this case, if we are from opposing approach in terms of sharing, what do I need to do? We need to come to a compromise to say, how far can we share? How far can we share with extended family members, and what can we keep to ourselves?
Private.
In that sense, we are building kind of boundaries.
Yes, so it's about establishing those boundaries.
Yes.
And understanding, okay, this is the much we can say, and this is the much we have to hold back. And it's very important that you also understand the dynamics of the family.
If a couple neglects loving compromise, like you were saying, where they are happy to share or come to a point where they agree on what to share and what not to share, depending on the extended family members, they might have issues with those extended family members. What I mean is that if you're from a family where they need openness, they want to know what's going on in your family, they want to know what you're doing, and you're not giving them that opportunity, they will feel isolated.
That's true.
And they will pick offense. If you're from a family where they are private and you're probing, you want to know, you're asking questions that they feel uncomfortable with.
You come across as being intrusive.
You're intruding. That becomes a problem as well.
That's true. So I think that the adjustment also must start with our mindset.
Yes.
So both individuals need to have a sit-down conversation about, this is the issue, these are our differences, how do we move forward from here?
Exactly. I think one of the reasons people get married and they think they can do without extended family members is because they believe they can make it on their own. They don't understand the value and the importance of extended family members. These people can help you make your marriage wonderful. So one of the important things about extended family members is the support system they provide.
That's true.
The support system, when you're going through tough times, things are not working out well, not in terms of you having issues with your husband or your wife, but in terms of emotional issues, maybe you've lost your job or different things that life can throw at you. The extended family members are always there to provide support.
That's true. But having said that, if the relationship with the extended family member, including the in-laws, is not managed properly, it could adversely affect the couple. So the marital relationship is then put under undue pressure. So then it leads to a breakdown in the relationship that exists between the couple and even their extended family.
Yeah, I think this is actually why it is important to seek family consent even before you get married. You don't have to do things on your own, especially when you're from a collectivist society.
That's true. At the same time, it is important that the family members understand boundaries as well.
Very
So you need to teach them boundaries. You need to find, both of you have had that conversation.
Yeah, you're willing to blend.
You've established, exactly, and then you've established, okay, this will be our boundary.
Yeah.
But then it's important that you bring these ones on board and get them to understand, look, this is how
we want to run our family.
This is how we want to function. So this is how far you can come in, this is how far you can, So it's important that you also get them to understand that, because you as a couple, you need some level of freedom. You need some level of interdependence.
Yes.
So you don't want people constantly coming into your business all the time, because in order for you to build a long-lasting relationship, that has to be in place.
Yeah. When you talk about freedom, you're looking at freedom to make decisions. There are minor and major decisions that you have to make as a couple that you don't need your parents, for instance, to make those decisions for you.
Yes.
But unfortunately, there are couples who depend on their parents for virtually everything.
Yeah.
They want to move to a new house, they need to call parents and get their endorsement. They want to get a job, they need parents. They want to take their children to school, their parents must decide the kind of school their children should attend.
Yeah.
It becomes a problem, especially when one party in the relationship is not comfortable with the intrusion, because I see this as an intrusion.
Yeah.
Because you're taking away your responsibility and you're handing it over to your parents. It is important to get the advice,
carry them along,
carry your parents along, whatever you do. It's part of the relationship you need to have with your parents.
Yes.
They can give you their advice, they can make inputs, but the call is yours to make as a family, especially for a man.
Yeah.
Because you're the leader in the home.
Yeah.
You see a situation where the man is not doing what he needs to do, and the extended family members are the ones helping him navigate, give direction to his family.
Yes.
It doesn't show well for a man, and you're not helping to protect even your wife.
Yeah, that's true, because I think that this depletes privacy between the man and the woman. And when you think about the spouse, even their emotionally, that connection is not also well established, because you find that from time to time family members are prying into your business because you've allowed that. So like I said before, it's important that you establish those boundaries and you communicate those boundaries to them.
Yeah, you can also it might not be direct communication.
No, that's what I'm saying. Of course, you not just come and say to them, these are 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Number one, don't do this. Number two, it could come across as being offensive to a lot of them.
I think most times when parents want to know what's going on, when they want to give advice, they sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, but most parents do this from a pure heart, a heart of love. Because a child, no matter how old he is still your child. It's like your son now. When he's married, you want to be sure that everything is going well with him.
He's comfortable, yes.
Those conversations are okay.
Yeah.
But then, when it becomes an intrusion is when they impose things on you.
That's true.
They are not giving advice, they are giving commands. So that's where it becomes a problem.
That's true.
Another point is that you don't also allow them to teach you or impose on you how you have to marry your spouse.
That's true.
Some parents do that. Some siblings do that. And some couples also give them that opportunity
to do that.
For instance, I'm having a conflict with you.
Yeah.
What should I do?
Talk with me.
Talk with you and sort things out with you.
Yes.
But some people think the comfort zone is to call their sibling. Tell them this is how my wife is. My wife is not doing this. She doesn't even cook well. My mom can cook better. She doesn't do this. She doesn't do that.
Yeah.
I'm having issues with her. This and that.
Yes.
That is the worst thing anyone could do, because you're selling your wife or your spouse cheap before your sibling.
That's true. So I do agree with you. You cannot afford to belittle, because that's belittling. That's because eventually when you settle with your spouse, you don't have to go back to them. They already formed their impression about your spouse, and it will be difficult for you to go back and begin to erase those comments, erase that impression that you have created. You always need to celebrate and present your spouse as a king before your in-laws.
Or as a queen before your in-laws.
Always do that. Don't sell them cheap. Don't belittle them. Everyone has got their weaknesses and their strength, and it's not enough for you to, go out and just focusing on talking about the weaknesses of your spouse, because these words are irretrievable. I've seen it happen time and time again in a lot of relationships where this has been the practice, and then when you go back, they cannot forget what they have been told.
The impression you've even created about yourself.
Yes, it's difficult for you to erase that. So again, I just want to also say that extended family members and in-laws can certainly put the couple under undue pressure and stress. Especially if you're a very young couple and you're still at the early phase of your relationship, you're trying to manage your finances, you have insufficient finances, or maybe kind of struggling to establish a solid relationship with the person that you have married, and trying to even secure a dependable income, and even learning to relate with your children. So again, a lot of things at the same time. So when this pressure becomes overwhelming, it could destroy even the marriage if not well managed. And I think that one of the areas that in-laws intrude is in cases of finances. So maybe the man was the sole provider, he was helping his siblings, and now he's married. Where do you draw the line?
That's really, really a very strong point to raise, because this has created so much problem. Because if the woman says, we have a new family, we have finances or budget we have to keep, and the man is thinking, but I love my family. I have to. I am the firstborn. I am the breadwinner, not just for my nuclear family, but for my extended family. My siblings are in school. I need to pay their school fees and things like that. Becomes a problem. It's a problem if they don't agree, discuss it, and agree on how to manage it. It's a problem if they start hiding, keeping secrets, where the man is now thinking of how to send money to the family member without the knowledge
of the wife. That's true.
These are issues that need to be discussed. And if you are making a budget, we are not saying because you're married, you ignore your family members.
Yes, forget them. No.
But then your priority is your immediate family. So if you're going to make a budget, you can decide. Before now, I used to give you guys this percentage of money, but because I have a responsibility to manage in terms of my family, I have to cut it down. And you have to discuss with your spouse.
That's true.
And agree.
I think it's all about bringing in balance.
That's the key word, balance.
So understanding this is what we have to do, this is how we're going to do it, and communicating that both with your spouse and with your in-laws. The thing is, sometimes when finances might be an issue, or the fact that you have an issue with your spouse communicating all of the things that we've mentioned previously,
or even the spouse is not what you expected and you're having issues with your spouse.
I see a situation where some people in a relationship would want to paint their spouse black before their family members in order to win favor from them. And others do this to be in the good book of their family members.
Yeah.
They do it in the sense that your spouse then becomes the focal point of your conversation with your family members. So basically, you're going to them and say, "Oh, my wife, my husband, I didn't expect this from this man. He's not doing what he's supposed to do as a man." And then this now becomes a form of manipulation.
Yeah, because you're using the issue with your spouse as a point of contact to gain favor from your parents or your siblings.
Not just to gain favor, but you're also using it to attract sympathy and pity from them.
Yeah.
We think that if there are issues in your marriage that need sorting out, why do you then not engage professional help, family therapists that you can trust to mediate or even intervene in your marriage? You can resolve this. Do not involve extended family members. Using this trick is not good at all.
Yeah, because you're creating a wrong impression about your spouse.
Yes.
Even if, like you said, even if there's an issue or there are things you want him to change or her to change.
Yes.
Use the right approach. If you want to engage your family members in terms of them coming in to mediate or intervene, tell them because of that issue. Say, this is what we are going through. We need you to come in. You're doing this with solution in mind. You're doing this to solve a problem.
That's true.
You're not doing it because you want to use it as a software way of
attracting things from them, or getting things from them. But I just want to also look at it from the flip side. Because some spouses or partners in a relationship would want to speak evil of their family members to their spouse.
Exactly.
Now you also go there, you make them look bad, you make your family members look bad. There are critical issues that you can raise with your spouse when it has to do with family members, but the motive should be something that you have to consider.
Yeah.
So don't just go about saying negative things about them, make them look bad before your spouse, and then you're raising issues about him, about her, in order for him to provide you with whatever it is you want. And I think that this is one strategy that a lot of people in some relationships tend to use.
Yeah, because your spouse would want to come into a marriage or the extended family into the marriage and have a good relationship with extended family.
That's true.
But if you puncture his mindset, if you bias his mindset about different members of the family, at that point, he has already created an approach which may not be positive, which may not allow for effective relationship. So we understand that the effective relationship in this sense is to allow him to come in with a clean slate. Let him see things for himself. And if two of you have a positive mindset and look at people from the point of their strength, you would have a good relationship with the extended family members.
And your in-laws as well.
Yes. We think that couples should come into marriage with a positive mindset. Look at marriage as a blend of two families to create a new family. Don't look at marriage as something you do in isolation. You need your father-in-law, you need your mother-in-law, you need your siblings, you need all of them to have a wonderful relationship. But then, you must know the boundaries. Know your responsibilities to them, your responsibility to your spouse. Don't let them interfere, intrude, and create a wall between you and your spouse.
Drawing from what you said, I absolutely agree. I think that having in-laws, having extended family can be enriching, can be a good support system for the relationship. But like we said, it could be a good tool. It could actually make your relationship or it can break your relationship. Now, with the things that we've highlighted, if you work hard on your relationship with your in-laws, and some people might say, I have tried everything. I just cannot get to the point where they understand me and I understand them. Well, I think at that point, if you have done everything, I think at that point you have to protect your relationship.
Yes, this is true because your marriage is your primary objective, is your number one priority. Protect it.
Yes. Now we want to draw this to a close. Now you're watching us right now. You're like, she hasn't said that. He hasn't said this. Please, are there other ways that you think that in-laws can make or break a relationship? Please put it in the comment section below. We would want to read from you and let us know. And we want to say, if you're new again to our channel, hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. For all our returning subscribers, thank you so very much for sticking with our content. Until the next episode is goodbye from us.